It's like when you see an autistic person see someone bite into that strippy gum and not just pull the little strips off it. You know? That one, the Hubba Bubba gum, where you've got like, it's a long roll.
Yeah.
And rather than just peeling a little bit, they're just like, just bite into it or something.
Hi, my name's Jaden, this is Pat, this is Matt. Welcome to the Banana Split podcast.
Yo. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm just going to chop everything out before this.
Oh.
So, it's been 2 weeks. It's been a lot of stuff going on. Corona's still here. I think people are still protesting, but it's not quite as crazy as it was last time. So, and, you know, good things are happening. It's made a difference. So we can all celebrate, but stay vigilant. And so the main reason we're here and that I'm excited is the PlayStation 5 trailers dropped. And we even had a leaked price a day or two ago. So, going to talk about that. Seen a few shows. There's been some cancellations of people and products and
there's been
TV
some cancellations, alright.
Yeah, so there's been some wrestling news that Jaden will cover. And that's going to be pretty much all we cover, I think.
It's real interesting considering I have to do this all off the top of my head because you're there. Not here, in my hands. I'm talking to my phone right now. No, fuck you.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why you should write shit down.
Nah, it's all up here. It's all up here.
You have my phone as a lifeline.
Yeah.
Because I have like a million articles here and they're not in any particular order, so that's why I sort of started grouping them on a piece of paper.
Well, let's start with this. I think I called it. I said Cyberpunk was going to be pushed
You did.
pretty much till the next gen release.
Yes.
I said that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that how far it's been pushed back?
Pretty much. It's pushed to like November. So
It's
And
like
when are
November the
new ones out?
19th or something, and the PlayStation 5 is dropping on the 20th of November, so perfect.
So,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I should have put a bit down.
And weirdly, some of the trailer footage I've seen looks a bit janky. Like, it doesn't look as crisp as the cutscenes, like where people are just running around and through the actual, like the gameplay itself stuff. I'm like, yeah, it looks okay, but it's not blowing my mind.
It's all fun and games till this becomes No Man's Sky 2.
Yeah. I mean, the bit where he jumps in the car, that looks good. Because that car,
the way he operates that vehicle.
Well, I just want to see someone one day
I
make
hope he drives stick.
like create a version in real life. I don't know what they'd base it on, but it's doable. So I know who could probably do it.
Elon Musk.
No, someone that we know, that Jason Margot.
Ah.
Because he does stuff with vehicles. But he's not like a mechanic, but he's pretty good with his hands.
Or as I like to call it, a mechanic.
Machine. I is mechanic.
Last of Us 2, that's also dropped, so we can talk about that. Though, have any of us actually played it?
I've already had it spoiled for me.
Oh,
I'm-
wow.
Thank you, TikTok comments.
Nope. I'm staying off TikTok.
But I'm just like, it's going to be like a year till I play it anyway. So
I'm totally not interested in playing it, but I have heard lots of things, and I know a lot of information about it.
Such a typical response from this guy.
Why?
So I hate Star Wars because I've read things that say...
What do you mean?
And I
I've
wouldn't
watched all.
like it 'cause I
I've
know
watched
enough.
all the original Star Wars, and I've.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
stop banging on the fucking table. We've gone over this.
Because I don't even...
The camera guy in the sound goes.
I couldn't get the software working, so yeah, it's still going to be fucked. Sorry. I can't... Alright. That's so you got to tie my hand.
That's the cold open. Stop banging on the fucking table.
I'll give you something else to edit.
See what I mean? It's fucked. That whole section.
Either he's going to edit it or I'm going to edit it. He edits most of it. I edit the opening.
Keep
I got the hard.
bloopers.
I got the hard part.
Yeah, I do the audio sync and I make an intro. That's what I do.
So you were talking about Last of Us, yeah, and all that. You played it?
No, but I have an issue with people that are review bombing it before they've even seen the game.
That's
Because it's got lesbians and they're making it be lesbian. They're taking over the whole world and they're forcing their SJW agenda down our throats because they're monsters. And it's just like, fuck off. It's a good game. And oh my God, there might be actual representation of people that aren't straight. Wow.
You know what?
Relax.
I'm so
it's
glad
okay.
this is a video podcast.
Yeah, I want you to zoom in on his face when that happens.
It's just...
Also,
same fuckwits every single fucking time.
well, let me make you feel better, and let me play the opposite side of the reviewers. Guys,
So-
okay, you need to calm down here. But this game is fucking 10 out of 10. We are IGN, and this is a fucking masterpiece. They have made the epitome of success. I've either been hearing like
IGN
0s out of
might
10
not
or
be the
10s
most-
out of 10.
They might not be the most credible source. I mean, I was looking
Well,
at
I know that.
Metacritic, review aggregation score is 10. or
Yes,
something. It's like
Rotten
9
Tomatoes.
It's like 9.5 or something, whereas the user review scores is like 3.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
of fucking incels.
I haven't seen many proper reviewing going on, but from my reliable sources, I've mostly been hearing, and the footage that I've seen, like reviewers that I know aren't fucking idiots, or friends and that. They're basically they're looking into, and they're basically like, most people don't seem to like the story or like where they went with the story, but a lot of people can see what they were trying to do, and they're like, okay, this is alright. And this, basically, if you liked the first Last of Us, it's quite likely you will enjoy the second one.
Good, then I know I'm going to like it.
Yeah, whether or not you will enjoy where they take the story, it's more of the same. But you might also not like it for that reason, because I've also heard complaints that some people were... No, not about the story. Just that they felt like it was just kind of more of the same, and they wanted maybe different mechanics. Some people were complaining that it just felt more like a movie than that sort of thing. But then you open up that fucking can of worms of like,
I mean, if there's legitimate critique of the mechanics and it being... Like, for example, there's a game I love the aesthetics of, and I wanted to love, Deus Ex Machina, which is really old now, but...
Yeah, I know what you're talking
it's
about.
just like a fashion
Is
commercial.
it a Machina? But whatever.
If I was to...
Anyway, they contracted out the boss fights to a different production company, and they were just god-awful. I think I made it to the second boss, and I was like, I can't be bothered grinding through him to get to the rest of the game. It was that awful. So if there's a legitimate problem with it like that, then fine. But so far I haven't heard anything other than quibbling with the storyline, and we'll see. I'm not happy about reviewing something I haven't played, but I can just tell that there's a lot of Captain Marvel style anger about a game just because of they don't like the agenda side of it. But
for me, regardless of the fact that I'm not going to buy it at least anytime soon, I'm quite convinced I'd still enjoy it. It's just I'm happy where they left it.
Yeah.
I didn't really want or care about a sequel in the first place. I was kind of happy where they left it. But eventually, when it goes really far down in price, I'll probably buy it and play it.
See, I was going to do the same thing, wait for a price drop, but now I know there's a big spoiler out there. I might have to jump on board sooner.
Okay,
I read enough of the internet that I'll probably say...
here's my wink to the people who know the spoiler. 4. And that's it.
It's going to be a Walking Dead style death for someone, except not with a baseball bat. That's all I can imagine. But we'll all find out soon enough. I've got no...
I won't.
Like...
Probably another 5 years when it's like $10.
Last of Us 3. I'm going to play Last of Us 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
I'm pretty sure I mentioned the Lego toys. They're not doing cops anymore.
Mega Bloks
What?
it is.
That's right.
Why?
Yeah, we did that last time.
Yes, now we've talked about it. If you watch the podcast.
Well,
You would.
I'm
know.
sorry, I was busy.
To be
Okay,
fair, I
pick
only
up.
dropped it last night
What?
at 2 a.m, so I can't be too mad at him. Though I got a feeling if it was 2 weeks ago, he still wouldn't have heard it.
No, also,
Well, when it's on YouTube, that's on my television.
Right. Yeah, I love that it's on YouTube now. If that's going to be a thing, great. And
well,
eventually,
it will be by the time this episode comes out.
yeah,
And then you'll be bought up by Spotify.
yeah, $100 million, thanks. God, don't get me started on Joe. He's been a bit of a dick lately. He's saying anyone that wears a mask is a bitch. I know he was just being like, that's his humour. His shtick is being a jerk sometimes. And he does say, look, I'm not an expert and all that. He qualifies it a little bit, but still, like, Bill Burr owned him pretty hard when he came on. So he's just like, you're a fucking knuckle dragging idiot that doesn't know anything. You're, sitting in front of the American flag, smoking a cigar, telling us that you got breathless and panicked, even though you're sitting on 19 dead elk. Like, fucking, who are you? And it's all like in good humour as a mate ribbing it, because that's all they do. Like, there's even roast clips of just Bill Burr taking out every other comic in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If
And
it's
they
all,
love it.
if it's just joking,
Yeah.
it's all good fun. Fuck
So-
it. Yeah.
I mean, that's why anyone ever watched Top Gear that wasn't into cars. It was just because they were giving each other shit the entire time.
Yeah, I don't know shit about cars, nor do I care, and I liked watching at least snippets of that show. Just
Yeah.
I liked watching that guy fuck around.
They're just lads. That are way too old.
It's The Boys. That's what it is.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that? It should have been called The Beanbag Boys, but it was called like Good Boys, or it had some lame title.
Oh, The Good Boy. Yeah,
The
I
Good
watched
Boys?
that. I
Like, it
watched
was
that.
an awful name.
Yeah, wasn't a good movie. Oh,
Eh,
wasn't amazing.
my son loved it,
Well,
but to
yeah.
be fair, he is 11, and that's exactly like the target audience for it. I think,
Even
or maybe
though
13-year-olds.
it's an MA 15 plus movie. Thank you, Seth
And there was a
Rogen.
whole joke with like the trailer where they couldn't watch the trailer
Yeah.
themselves, even though they're swearing through the entire movie and like playing with sex toys and using them as like.
Yeah, I know I've seen it. I remember very little about the movie. I remember
Yeah.
there's a scene where they've got to cross a highway.
Yeah, and that was a bit like it was pretty much ripping off that whole scene in Bowfinger with Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. They did like that exact scene, but it was more just the graced out humor and the sweet sort of boys style like bonding. They get split up, of course, because of women and that whole thing, but then it all comes full circle and the power of friendship and
Heart.
it's beautiful. So as long as you can see past all the obvious like low hanging fruit, bawdy, crass humor, and I don't think it's like toxic or anything. Like you go back and watch American Pie now, and it,
Oh, that doesn't age well.
yeah, there's a few-
No,
there's a
no,
lot of-
I will always enjoy Stifler doing his dance in the wedding one.
yeah. I think I've still. I think that's one of those movies I haven't actually watched the entire thing. I've just seen bits and pieces here and there.
Snippets, yeah.
It's weird because that was like a cultural touchstone for like the early 2000s or something.
Yeah.
And I was just by then backpacking and
I missed it.
catching big stuff like Lord of the Rings and things in the cinema. But
Speaking of Lord of the Rings,
Bilbo,
yeah, Bilbo.
Vale, may he rest in peace. Yeah, I should actually mention the dude's name.
Yeah, you
but
should.
It's not in front of me. I was going to get there. All I've got in front of me is J.K. Rowling's being called out by all her actors.
Did we cover that?
I don't think so. We might have mentioned it, but there's been more this week. Like more people came out. Like obviously Daniel Radcliffe and who's the girl?
Emma
Hermione?
Watson.
Emma Watson, Hermione. Yeah, just saying.
Can you tell me Ron's
if they
name?
should. Ron Weasley.
Yeah, but can you tell me the actor?
The actor's name? Oh, I don't fucking know.
I did know this at some point because I actually like the guy. I've seen him on a bunch of stuff where he does the interviews and things, and he's generally quite funny.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, like Daniel Radcliffe was really smart with his money, Emma Watson was really smart with her money, and Rupert just bought an ice cream machine, like an ice cream truck. He drives around.
Rupert.
Yeah.
Rupert.
I gave you the first name, man.
Oh no, it's not. It's
Grint. Rupert
not.
Grint.
That's right. Yeah.
Rupert Grint. That sounds like such a Ron Weasley name. Rupert Grint.
Yeah. No, I watched 8 seasons of a show that only has 3 main characters and listened to 400 episodes of their podcast. And there's only, again, 3. There's a Brian Q and a Brian Johnson. And then the other guy, I completely forgot his name this morning.
It's
I
not
was
a
like,
Brian,
if you put
no.
a gun to my head right now, I wouldn't have been able to get it. I had to look it up. It's Walt.
Disney?
No, it's Walt Flanagan. But I was just
That's no
disgusted
fun,
with
Flanagan.
myself. Like, I'm going senile. Like good old Joe Biden. Apparently he's got a speech impediment. But yeah, and that's another thing. Like Joe's like, oh, I'm not going to vote for him. I'm going to vote for Trump instead, even though they're both idiots. It's just like, you're not voting
don't vote at all,
for
then.
the
That's an option.
candidate alone, even though it should be someone else. It should have been Sanders or, a million other
Colonel.
people. Tulsi, I liked her.
Why do you know so much about American politics?
I know,
I don't
it's
even,
just
that
a
last name that you just said, I have no idea who
Tulsi
that is.
Gabbard. She
I
was
know more
African
about
American.
American
She was in the
politics
army.
than Australian.
She was like, just ticked all the boxes, but she didn't play the system. She was like outside of the machine that gets funded by lobbyists and big power, like deep state bullshit. So I don't know. I listen to too much political crap on the podcast arena, and just that's my informed opinion based on driving around listening to people from overseas talk about it. So take it It's,
Yes, sir.
I mean, you could
It's
do it the
legit.
way I get my American knowledge is through talking to chicks in it from America on Tinder when we had the passport feature. That's how I got all my political views.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
is not, but
I think it'd be fun doing that if you're just trying to get like a jokey screen cap that you could post on Reddit or social media, but like as a means to like establish any kind of relationship, I don't know.
no.
'Cause I've got enough American friends on Facebook without.
I have American friends. Fuck. There's a couple. That's about it. There's not much. There's not
Yeah,
many.
and they're all in like random parts of the US that aren't tourist hotspots.
Yeah.
Like somewhere in the middle.
Arizona.
Yeah, or Colorado. And like it's a
Oklahoma.
small town,
Yeah.
like way out in the sticks. So
my American friends all over the place.
that's right. Is that your entire fan base?
Oh, well, even when I was young, I was making American friends. It's just but like
He's just like guns.
oh no, it was just
This is about to get me a bit me too.
oh
Yeah,
it was fun.
Bill and, has anyone watched the Bill and...
No, not like that. Carry on.
You're going to go make some, like, Milo, you know...
Bro, we'll get
statement.
cancelled before we start.
Yeah. That thing, is his
Blow
name
my face.
Milos? Milos? How do you say that guy's name? The
Who?
Greek, outright, gay, bit right-wing dude that lost all his money and got
Oh,
deplatformed.
Milo
Milo.
Miliopolis or something like that.
But he
Unilopoulos.
got in a bit of trouble, in a bit of hot water, because he was like, yeah, when I was super young, I had all these relationships with older men, and it was fine.
Is he an
It
actor?
taught me so much. He's a political commentator,
No idea.
populist. He's a bit
See-
like a combination between Russell Brand, if he had a mutant baby with, who's that Jewish dude that does all like the logic, not feelings, or facts, not feelings.
Oh, is that
Ben Shapiro?
Ben Shapiro. God.
And like Russell Brand had a mutant baby, and it was like gay, but also really far right.
yeah.
But still, like he's like, oh, I'm being really super racist, but hey, my boyfriend's black, so I can get away with it. That dude.
I don't think he was.
And then,
Every day we get further.
We stray further from God.
From
Yeah.
God.
We stray further from me.
Every day we stray further and further from the
I can't believe
topics.
you don't know who Milo. But then again, I didn't know at one point, and I posted one of his videos. It was from his channel anyway, and they were going around Japan interviewing people about Ghost in the Shell and asking whether local Japanese people were actually offended by the casting of, you know, ScarJo. And
they were
obviously-
like, who?
yeah, they were like, no, it's cool, whatever. She's like white in the cartoon, so you know, 99% of the people interviewed were like cool with it. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because I was kind of like, I like ScarJo. I don't get how that's whitewashing, because it is a cartoon, and the model of that robot is built by like
Okay,
a German
okay,
company.
alright,
so,
so- So then,
Right.
with that logic, we make a live action version of Jackie Chan Adventures, but we cast Chris Tucker as Jackie Chan.
yeah. I don't know how you go. I don't know how you see it's by that logic.
Well,
Just because Jackie Chan Adventures is a cartoon,
exactly.
it's a little bit more to it than that.
But you said it's a cartoon.
Yeah, in that.
Am I
there's
blackwashing
no-
here?
No, it's a cartoon, and in that cartoon, they don't specify the race of anyone.
There we go. It's just poking.
And because she's a robot, if it was like her boss, this old Japanese dude, yeah, it would be weird if they cast, you know, Martin Sheen as the boss, because like he's clearly an old Japanese dude. But if it's like her, this like military industrial complex built robot from Europe, you know,
All right, live action Futurama. Who do you cast as Bender?
like the voice.
I don't-
Just use
I-
Joe
no.
DiMaggio, whatever his name is, the guy that does the actual voice.
Oh
'Cause
no,
you've
I'm
got a
sorry,
robot.
but Bender's Mexican. It's specified in the show.
Oh yeah, he is. He is.
Fucking got him.
Yeah, sure. All right, whatever. I'm like,
But he has that. But
whole
that
thing is
voice.
just a
How are
fucking-
you gonna find a Mexican with that kind of voice?
Bending Rodriguez.
I mean, obviously the factory's
Jesus
in Mexico.
Christ.
That's the joke. That's cool.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted. Has anyone watched that trailer? It was a bit underwhelming for me. I like it. I'm like, yeah, cool, but
It.
it didn't blow my head off. I guess with
It
all the
was-
build-up, like, because we've been talking about it for 2 years.
It's exactly what I would expect. It was
Yeah.
silly and ridiculous, like the first show.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
I guess it's like, be careful what you wish for, because I do remember them being fun as a kid. but then you watch it now and you're like, yeah, it's a bit on the nose.
It's like Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah, I think it's a lot like that. I think Bill and Ted was, for me,
Bill
I enjoyed,
and Ted the Flower Pot.
I think they were cooler and more fun than Dumb and Dumber, that had its moments. Like Bill and Ted went through time, and there was actual there was actually high stakes. They were trying to save the world in the future. Dumb and Dumber, what were they trying to do? Just
fuck a chick.
like get laid or something.
It was fuck a chick, and then the second one it was meet his daughter, and then the other one was he wanted to fuck his mate's daughter.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't his daughter. But then it was his daughter. Then it wasn't his daughter.
It's a bit like a Rick and Morty episode at this point.
And either way, he wanted to fuck his daughter. No, his mate's daughter. Yeah. He didn't want to fuck.
Not that bad.
Oh yeah, no, it looked good. I'm not gonna rush out to the theaters, but it looks good. I would like to see.
Speaking of which, that's a good segue because July the 1st, you're allowed to go to the cinema, and that's the day that the Ritz in Randwick does open, and they're showing a bunch of old classics, and I think a couple of newish ones like The Invisible Man, but nothing like big.
Are they doing?
Because they pushed Tenet to July the 30th, and all the other big ones are like August, September, October. Because I think they're worried, even though the theatres are open, that people are going to be too afraid to go, and there'll still be social distancing.
Oh no, because people are idiots.
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
AMC, which is a chain in America, a rather large one, has said they don't want to get political and mandate that people wear masks. And on the face of it, I'm like, oh, that is being political. You're already like going all Trumpian and saying do whatever and everyone will get sick. But then that'd be a bit hypocritical of me because I don't think I'd really want to wear a mask to a cinema because how are you going to eat your popcorn?
See, the act of not
Yeah.
being political could be considered a political stance. It's
Well,
like,
that's-
I'm not going to conform to society. It's like you're actually conforming right now because you're conforming to your own state of mind.
Well, this came up last
So,
episode
yeah.
with that whole thing about that cosplay group, which I
And
don't think you're
this is why
across,
whenever anything happens and people post about it on social media, I never say a thing because you can't. I don't make a post that I'm not posting about anything. I don't make a post for this, for that. I don't make a post saying I don't care. I just don't post.
Well, you know what they say.
I may or may not be a
You just
communist.
It's like that.
That
whole
was
thing
such a
about-
Bill and Ted moment. You know what they say, man? You just know.
It's more like if you don't say anything, you're compliant. That whole if you don't speak up, then you're as bad as.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact line, but it's essentially if you just
like
let it go and you don't stand up.
Yeah, it's like if you see a murder and you don't report it or something, it's like you're considered like some people consider you.
Bro,
just as guilty, sort of.
that's an
I agree with
episode
that.
of
I think Jaden
Seinfeld.
should be cancelled
That's an
But
episode.
but
for not.
then there could be a
being
lot of
brave
grey in
enough.
that though. What if he points a gun at you and says, "You fucking tell anyone next"?
I've been playing way too much Red Dead Redemption just because I keep looking over and I'm like, hey.
Are you talking to me wrong? Do you need to mess with me? Wait, mess with me?
I love it.
It's Pride Month. Hi. How are you
You
doing?
know what? That reminds me. You know what my son did? He's 11 years old. He got to the final, I think there must have been one mission left, and he's playing obviously at this point as John Marsden. He's built a house. He's got his girl back. He's telling me all these things and every day. It's like I've done this, I've done that, and I'm like, wow, you're way ahead of me. You played 50 hours in 2 days. What the?
Well, that's not how math works. But anyway.
Hey man, I've seen the stats. These numbers don't lie. He's somehow in a time bubble. But basically, he corrupted or deleted accidentally his save file. When he logged back in, it was just gone. So
You're going to have to...
let's have a moment of silence for young Lewis Hamilton right there.
Anyway.
It's tragic. And I tried to empathise by saying, yeah, I did that once in 1993 when I played, it must have been a 30-hour plus game of Populous 2 on the Sega Mega Drive. And that was back when you had like an extra big cartridge if it was a game that you had to save, and then you had to write down like the letters.
Password.
Yeah, no, when you saved it, it gave you like a string of 16 letters. When you log back in, you had to type those letters
to
in.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow I lost that game. When I I kicked the Mega Drive because I got upset, and that was it. It was all gone.
It's like Crash Bandicoot back in the day had a very similar system.
Yeah. Password inputs. Yeah, a lot of games
Don't
back
miss it.
then had a password input. Yeah.
Which, going on to the PS5, a lot of the advances they're talking about, you don't really see on the screen in the trailers, but it's how fast the loading times are. Like with that new game that looks amazing, and I never really played Jax and Dexter, but you're jumping around between portals, through portals into different universes.
Could you say that again for me, please?
Jumping around between portals.
No.
What was the name of that game?
Jax and Dexter.
Okay. Okay. Here's my favorite thing. Okay. There's a few points for this.
That's two games.
That's not even the game. It's Ratchet and Clank.
That's the one.
It's Ratchet and Clank for one.
Yeah.
And it's Jax and Dexter is Jack and Daxter.
What did you say at first? Dexter Daxter or something?
I have no idea.
I imagine the killer Dexter fucking just running around, just fucking on an adventure.
We should bring whiskey into this. It might help things.
Oh no!
I can't make it any worse.
Yeah.
That's the only alcohol I have. And then I was driving around and I was like, look, bottle shops open everywhere. And I'm like, how do people afford to just keep drinking? Because, Australia, it's not cheap. We'll have to set up a style. What do you call it? A still out the back. Because I've got plenty of room. The earth is scorched. It won't matter if you start a fire or like blow up a meth lab.
Uh-huh.
We could go to town.
I mean, a
I've already got an
distillery
abandoned car
is
out there.
basically a meth lab.
Yeah. So that's something we should do on the side. And that can be our first merch. Hooch. Homemade.
Collectible moonshine.
With banana flavouring.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Yeah. No, I was like, how can I sell moonshine? There it is.
Yeah.
Banana split
So I'm not
moonshine.
making beer. I'll make moonshine, and you best believe it'll be strong.
Which is surprisingly explosive, according to Red Dead Redemption.
What moonshine?
That's like one of their missions. You have to blow it up.
Like a distillery or just alcohol or moonshine?
There's
in
this
particular?
like gang that you have to take care of, and their whole economy is based on moonshine. And you sneak in and you plant this dynamite on the distillery, like on a pile of moonshine. And I made the mistake when I first did it of not getting away, not standing far enough away.
I love how
that
you were
shit
like
up.
sneaking. I probably went in there and just went bang, 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 bang,
Well-
bang, bang.
Well, at least going by most movie standards or video games, your Molotov cocktails, moonshine and that, from what I recall, is just very highly concentrated.
It's like
Yeah.
So it'd be
90%.
even more fucking flavor.
My question is, was the distillery red? Or was it... Like, if it's bright red...
danger,
Yeah.
danger,
If it's red, boom.
Boom, boom.
Video game logic.
If it's blue, then it's probably
Speaking of which,
white.
where's that Player One or whatever it's called, the Ryan Reynolds, not Ready Player One, Jesus, the one where he's an NPC and he works in a bank.
I don't know, probably postponed.
Yeah, I was really looking
Guy or
forward to
whatever it
that.
is. It's called... Is it called, like, Guy?
But there was a movie I started watching and then couldn't finish, which is rare for me. Though to be fair, it was on my TV, so I get distracted. But it's called Artemis Fowl, and that was supposed to be a big blockbuster. Disney pushing it. It's based on a popular children's book.
Oh.
And they pumped millions into it, and it just completely got smashed by reviewers. And I can kind of see why, because it's shit. So
Yeah.
I got about halfway through, and I'm like,
Great. There
you know,
goes
this
my...
is really
Didn't they kind
know-
of just chuck that in theaters and nobody watched it?
no,
Or was
because there's
that
no
before?
theaters. They chucked it on Disney Plus.
Oh,
like
okay.
3
sorry.
days ago or something.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
And,
yeah.
I was really disappointed because I had seen trailers and it looked amazing.
I
Like
saw
they've spent a
reviews.
lot of money on it. There's Judi Dench. There's all these big actors. There's Colin Farrell as the kid's dad. But it's just it's so
Just didn't come
many
together too
bad
well.
jokes. Like there's this scene where you can tell the kid's about to find out that his dad's either missing or in jail or something. Like the news has come on and they mention his dad, and he's standing there with a glass of milk, and then also a bottle of milk. You know, like those old school glass bottles that they used to deliver in like the 40s.
Good old Britain. Yeah.
But it's set now. But anyway, so he's standing there and he's watching this big screen like, oh, my dad's fucked. And then it cuts to, and you, at least 5 minutes before it happens, you know, it's like it's so telegraphed that he's going to drop the glass of milk and it's going to smash everywhere. And then it cuts away to the smashed glass and you're just like, oh, okay.
It's baby's first movie, I think.
Yeah. But it's pretty. I'll give it that. It's disappointing when that much money gets spent and there's only a finite amount of money to go around in that world, and it turns out like a mess. But who knows? It'll probably still launch the careers of some cool actors, and we'll see how it goes. Like I was watching a clip then on YouTube while researching for information on the PS5 launch, and I end up getting sidetracked. And there was a guy that did like the top 20 plot holes or interesting trivia about Back to the Future, and like the gang that run around in the first movie and harass Michael J. Fox. Like nearly every person in that gang there's Elijah Wood, there's Billy Zane, there's just like all these huge actors before they were anything. So
Billy Zane's come up a lot lately for me.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff.
Yeah, no, but like I just watched, I just finished the show Psych on Amazon, and they're like obsessed with Billy Zane in that show, and then they finally got him to cameo on the very last episode.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
like
they made
the characters in the show are obsessed, or the show itself is like, we want to get this guy.
both.
All right.
And then so they finally got him, and then they did 8 seasons, and then they did a movie. Well, a made-for-TV movie, so a TV special. And then they've just confirmed that they're doing another TV special. They want to do 5 TV specials.
Did they do that Brooklyn 99 joke where someone had a birthday and like they worshipped this actor? I think it was that chick that ended up leaving, and she arranged to get this celebrity down there.
No, they haven't done that.
It was the dude from Saved by the Bell, the one that's like the handsome, not the jock white guy.
No, yeah, but the one who's on Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, that guy.
No, they haven't done that joke.
Okay. Because, yeah, he turns up and then they're just like, all right, you go away. We don't need you. He's seen you, that's enough.
Yeah.
Oh, but I want to hang out, and can I just, like, have a drink with you guys? No, get out of here. Brooklyn 99, there's been, like, a lot of fake outrage. I don't know who's coming up with this stuff. Because of the whole, like, Black Lives Matter thing, it's all very, there's a lot more scrutiny now on the police, anything police related. In media, there's talk of SVU getting cancelled, Cops got cancelled, A&E got cancelled.
Cops got cancelled?
Oh.
Yep, after 30 years, and it's the most popular show on that channel. So same with A&E, which is another, basically Cops on a different channel.
What about Law and Order and NCIS?
Yeah, they're all talking about like just getting canned, at least for now. So.
There was this
And Brooklyn 99, but it's like that's one of the few woke cop shows that actually point out problems like that. There was a whole episode that dealt with it.
Yeah.
So.
There was this video going around on the internet of this officer. She did nothing wrong, but it was just funny that the way she was reacting, because she was being very genuine.
Was that Karen McMuffin?
Was it the
McMuffin?
one she ordered some muffins and stuff?
I haven't watched the audio. Like I've seen clips
seen
briefly of her sitting in her car crying.
Yeah,
and it's like it took too long to get her muffin. And it's because she's a cop, and maybe they poisoned it. And it's just like,
but basically, like, the people who I saw watching it played sad music on top of it, and so it was just like, I was waiting there, and she said that, I'm sorry, ma'am, that you're going to have to wait a little longer in the waiting aisle, and I'm like, okay. And, yeah, and she meant well, but it just kind of came off as a little snobby at the end, because she was saying that I don't hear thank you enough. Oh. And I know what she means by that.
I don't. How entitled can you be? Like you're just doing your job.
Yeah, because you have to see it on both ends. There are a lot of people who do a lot of backbreaking work that never get a thank you.
Exactly. So what the fuck is she on about?
But, like, I could see from her perspective as well that she probably gets a lot of hate and stuff that we're not seeing, and so that's causing her to be very paranoid and anxious about things. But at the end of the day, just looking at it as a little funny video, it was funny just to see someone like...
I can see that working.
And, here's my advice, by the way, if you ever watch this. Go to Subway. Because she was all paranoid that she couldn't see the food being made. It's like, go to Subway.
Yeah.
You see the food being made. There you go.
Make that your only ever purchase.
Your only ever takeaway place. Just go to Subway. Well, this is a place that makes the food in front of you.
Self-serve.
Anyway, you were talking about Ratchet and Clank before.
That's right.
Or you were trying to.
I was talking about how basically one of the best things about the PS5 is it's jumped to that SSD tech, and it's going to be like even when you fast travel in a game like the new Dawn and Zero Horizon, where it's like west. She goes to San Francisco, and there's going to be like underwater play, and it just looks amazing. Even though I haven't played the first one, I got really excited about the sequel. The loading times between like even just jumping from here to the other side of the map are just instant, and you can kind of do it to PlayStation 4 already. You can shut it down, and come back and pick it up again, and it will go back to where you were.
They previewed that a couple of years ago with they ran the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 5 with the SSD, and it was just fast levels, just boom, boom.
I'll wait.
The draw distance was so much better as well.
I'll wait, because sometimes they they show you this content and then it doesn't really come out the same way. It's like, oh, like we had to change something last minute.
Yeah. Well, that game's not out till mid 2021,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that bothers me. Like, it's the same at PAX. You see indie games and even AAA titles in like the demo section, and you're like, oh, when's it coming out? Oh, maybe 2 or 3 years. It's like,
Yeah.
why am I here? Like, I don't want to get worked up about a game I'm going to forget about in a year or two. Like, I don't know. I just think,
Well, at
let's
least
just wait till things are coming out a bit sooner.
well, at least if the spoilers are leaked, you've got like 2-3 years to get over it and then play it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just seeing that, like, I watched a trailer and some of them were amazing. Like that time loop. No, what's it called?
Time loop?
It's this assassin, and there's a couple of games that look like they were using that mechanic of like, oh, I'm stuck in this time loop. Like, there's a woman that's crashing onto a planet, and that's a Sony exclusive, and every time she crashes and dies, it starts again. So it's like a Groundhog Day type thing.
Who's that guy from Doctor
And every
Strange?
time it happens, she's like, all right, now I'll
Doctor
try this
Strange?
way. Which is very much like a video game mechanic anyway. You just like, you die, you try again, you die, you try again. But they're incorporating that narrative into the game as well. Like, the character knows that. So that's a new angle. And
So
yeah,
it's Happy Death Day, the video game.
okay.
You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, because she knows.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about that movie is at the end, her boyfriend's like, have you never seen Groundhog Day? She hadn't heard of it. But I've still got the sequel sitting there and I haven't got to it
Yeah, I
yet.
haven't seen the
There's a
second one
sequel
either.
to it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they even made 3, but I haven't
Oh,
got there.
I hope they haven't milked it.
PAX got cancelled, so now we can do that.
PAX got
Ironfest.
cancelled, and then it got uncancelled, and then it got cancelled, and now it's virtual again.
was
And
this
who
recent?
did that first?
Ironfest. How well
Who
did
thought
that
it was
go?
a bad idea?
So what's left?
I'll still check out what they have, because if they've got
Yeah.
some pretty sweet, like, video teleconferencing things between developers, because they have some pretty big
Yeah.
games, and if they're doing like a little, because a lot of it was online already, like you could go back and
Yeah.
watch certain panels, so that I might look for. But
I saw a few people who I know who are like, can I sign up to host something for blah, blah, blah? And I went like, man, nobody knows who you fucking are. Nobody cares. I'm like, cool, you want to do this. Don't start with PAX.
yeah, build a following on YouTube.
Do something else. Start small. Do a popcorn. Don't be like me and just talk your way into Ironfest.
So, but that might be back on. Like, I want to talk to the guys behind it all and see if they want to move ahead. But I don't know how easy it's going to be to get A, people to just turn up, and B, like, store holders and
For what?
workshops for the one at Kashula.
Oh no, that can't be this year. No way. Castrilla PowerCon can't be this year.
Why not?
No, it's too soon.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
I say push it.
July, August, September. We've got 3 months
Unless okay, the only difference being is unless
and 2 weeks.
realistically within the next 2 months we can get 0 cases countrywide.
Oh, so you're still focusing on that
Yeah.
Corona thing?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that needs
I suppose it did kill
that
a
needs
few
to be
100,000
prioritized.
people.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you see people coming out and going, "Oh, look, it was fake. We're worrying about nothing." Yeah, that's because we locked down and actually stayed home.
Yeah.
By and large, so it wasn't as bad as people thought it would be because we did something. It's like the Y2K.
Yeah.
Like, that's because they fixed all the computers, and that didn't just.
Wait, what? Are you telling me that Y2K didn't happen because they fixed the computers?
Work was done. I don't think that they sat down at every single computer in the world and typed in some code, but there was definitely a lot of work done in behind the scenes. I've read about this on Reddit, so it's true.
I need to show
I don't
you
know the exact things they
a
did.
documentary that Leonard Nimoy was a part of.
Right.
That flat out believed, or at least was paid to believe, that Y2K was going to happen. And they literally pretended like it was Fallout 76.
Nice.
And they were like, when this happens, you need a bunker, you need to...
And it wasn't
treating
ironic.
people like idiots and just like, okay, so when your water goes bad, you need a filtrating system. I need to send you this.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Well, I know they did something, and then it mainly at the corporations that had big computer systems and banking and all that sort of thing. Maybe not in everyone's home computer, but in systems that needed to keep working for society to function.
Yeah.
They did do things. So
Okay.
I'll have to look into that for next time. I've got homework.
Okay.
But yeah, so what else? Supernova's still happening.
for now.
in Sydney and a bunch of other places before the end of the year, but we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
And when's that on
I'm
again?
in August the 7th.
August
So
the
that's
7th,
like
so
only...
it's 2 months, yeah.
Not even.
But who's gonna come? They're gonna have no guests.
That's my
That's the
point,
problem.
because I've heard a lot of people dropped out.
Everyone dropped out because the
Unless
airports,
you've
the borders are
got
closed.
unless you've got Australian celebrities.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are
But
they?
you can't even go to Queensland right now. Victoria's putting their restrictions back in place because they just had 25
Here's
new
who we
cases.
can call. Here's who we can
Right.
call. We can call Chris Hemsworth. That's about it.
Are they
Is he
trying
still in
to?
Byron Bay?
That's where he lives. So
Are they trying to like make it like entice people at all? Like, are they going to drop the prices of the tickets? Are they going to make it online?
I
Are
think
they,
that would be a reasonable thing to do. I
'Cause-
know they've got people they need to pay,
Yeah.
but
Well, of course, but that's I imagine why they might not do it, because if they lower the prices, then how are they going to afford everything?
yeah, I don't know what kind of margin they're operating with.
I had people talking about the
'Cause-
funding and stuff for the Iron Fest, and I saw like refunds and all that, and then people talking about their stall money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying
But
full
the thing
price,
is, the Iron Fest
then-
is kind of a charity,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
they can probably take the hit a bit better, like write it off somehow. Whereas a business like Supernova, it's a bit harder.
yeah,
They've got loans and I don't know, because there's a lot of capital.
Contracting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit harder for them.
Because if you're paying full price to go to a con, there's no way in hell anyone is going to think that, oh, this is going to be better than last year. Like,
Yeah, definitely
you're
got
going to
lower
have
the
to
bar.
go in knowing that it's going to be worse. And knowing that, why would you go?
And knowing that it's
And full
indoors,
price.
Yeah, full
and then
price.
A lot,
Yeah, sorry.
A
yeah,
lot of
why would
people
you go
won't
full
be
price?
wearing masks other than the cosplayers.
Yeah.
And it's, it's
Yeah,
impossible
hot and
to...
sweaty.
You
Make
can't,
things worse.
you
Yeah.
can't do the form. There was a con recently in Florida, and I've got the article there, but basically this journalist went down to check it out, and he wore a mask, but he was pretty much the only one there, because Florida, they're pretty like, whatever, man, this is cool. We got this. And yeah, it was packed to the gills. It was just like, when you go to Smash, and it's like,
Yeah.
you get smashed. So he didn't think that was going to go too well. Like 2 weeks from now, you're going to see a bunch of cases. And now there's been like 3 more from that Melbourne protest. that got
And
it.
Victoria have 21 in total.
Oh.
New cases.
Right. I thought it was 25. That's what I read this morning.
Well, I read 21 this morning,
Yeah,
so.
okay. Well, either way, they're dialing back to where they were with restrictions. So
Don't you close my gyms again!
no, I think New South Wales were kind of lucky. I never thought I'd say that, to have a fairly conservative government, and they like to keep businesses going, whether it might knock a few people off that are otherwise vulnerable or not. So
Yeah.
if you should be all right with your gym.
Yeah.
I think.
Our gym.
Yeah, I do pay for the same gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
have a
Oh
look.
yeah.
Yeah. I am going after this.
Yeah, yeah.
Invite's
Right.
still there.
Okay. Yep, can't wait.
That sounds like a yes. That sounds like a yes to me.
No, I'll do some arm curls and
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
You'll be there for like 30 minutes. I'll be there for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I can't do that. No, I just get
You don't want to
bored.
go all borrow
I-
a membership.
Another guy that was on Joe Rogan recently was a really big dude, and now he can't even walk because he did too much powerlifting. I think his name's Ronnie Coleman. He's like this massive dude from the 80s. He was like the Mr. Universe like 9 times.
Because
He's got the record for the most wins.
Because he fucked his legs up, or because he's too muscly?
He's back, like he just kept lifting shit that he wasn't supposed to lift, like 1,200 kilos and stuff.
Oh,
Like the
oh,
only
yeah,
person who
he's back.
finally broke his record was the Man Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and then it was Eddie Hall, and then the man broke it again because he wanted to, because he did an extra kilo just to piss off
Yeah.
Eddie Hall because they've got a boxing match coming.
I like that. That's 1 kilo more. That's petty. But yeah, he can barely. And Joe Rogan's like, oh, I've got this guy in, Cuba that I can fly you to, and he'll fix everything with like stem cells and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, right, man. But what was the point? He loves the gym. That's right. The reason he got so big was because he spent like hours and hours and hours every single day just pumping, and that was like his greatest joy to just do that. So I was like, more power to you, man. Like if that's what brings you happiness, go for it. But I don't know. Maybe you need to do it for a while. It's like a runner's high, and if you hit that like 20th mile or
I'm
whatever,
4
and then
days
you're
in,
like, oh
and I already like 4 sessions in. I'm like already like, all right, I'll go every single day if I want to.
yeah. So you've definitely.
I imagine it's like any hobby. Even you just get it or you don't get it. I don't like cars. I know a lot of people like cars.
Yeah,
Some people love video games. Some
I don't
people
like
fucking hate
communism, but I love communism. You know, like you'll
I
never
guess
know.
I'm more of a gamer / screen watcher. Which
It's the
is pretty
situation.
classic.
It's the situation of you won't go to the gym, but
Some
you'll make
people-
CJ go to the gym.
Oh yeah, no, I'll sit there in San Andreas like I got to get their stamina up, or even Red Dead Redemption. You run around, you can build up your fitness levels just doing cardio. Like the best thing for cardio is apparently either rowing when you go fishing, or fights. Like you just start rolling around in bar brawls, or you just walk up and antagonize people. Not immediate. And it's the funniest thing about it is it'll be some old small Asian woman in Saint Denis that you've accidentally bumped into, and she'll drag you off your horse and just start laying into you, and it's just like this.
Oh,
tiny
there have been times where I've just ran into people on my horse and go, "That's a wanted level."
yeah. There's $20.
I thought you were talking about real life for a second there. That's why I was getting confused.
No, speaking of bar fights, I do have a VR game that's called Drunken Bar Fights. So you just beat the shit out of people in bars. Much
So
fun.
you'd want like a fake dummy somehow in the room, so when you're landing the punches, it connects with something. And
Yeah, but you're
I think
holding
that would be-
controllers.
Yeah,
So
Oh, I'm
they're
waiting.
going to be strong enough to take the hit. I don't know.
Sort of
take 5.
Sort
If
of-
yeah, but
I
if you
want it
play
to
it
be.
over and over.
I'm not going to do VR a lot until it's like virtually indistinguishable from real life.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to be.
Kinda
He
like
wants to be
that.
plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah, basically Westworld season 3 as well. There's elements of that.
You're giving humanity too much credit. That ain't gonna happen in our lifetime.
Stop breaking my heart.
We're too fucking worried about.
It might. I just think that'll be the downfall of humanity.
Could be.
Elon Musk thinks we'll be speaking
Elon?
without words within 20 years. Like we'll be able to just communicate telepathically
Oh,
using
okay.
Yes, but this is Elon Musk. What did he name his kid again?
Archangel.
I'm gonna put it here.
You do that. Good luck with that.
Is that still on? By the way,
Magic
sorry to break the
That's a
fourth wall.
good question.
Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
The wrestling thing.
Okay, because he's looking at that. You want to pull out your phone for me for a second and look on the hashtag Speak Out.
Okay.
There's a bunch of, especially in British wrestling, there's a bunch of wrestlers who are basically being called out for being sexual criminals, deviants.
Oh, like Me Too sort of thing.
Yeah, it's Me Too, but yeah,
was it-
speak out.
And haven't they let a bunch of wrestlers go because they're not making any money now? They don't have bums
But
on
they're
seats?
rehiring. That's just the WWE doing the WWE shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all like
Yeah.
negotiation
You like
tactics.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, so a bunch of, like, going off the top of the head, Ring of Honor head booker Marty Scurll has been accused. Matt Riddle, who just debuted on SmackDown today, was accused, but then there was a lawyer thing, and there was a thing with his wife. AEW star Jimmy Havoc, who's been currently released, pending his term in...
The least.
Yeah, released on his contract.
Oh, released.
Depending on his term in rehab.
Right.
Because he's going through rehab, because he's got substance abuse issues. There's a bunch of other shit as well. Will Ospreay and his missus have been accused of things. Jordan Devlin, who is the current WWE Cruiserweight Champion, has...
So these are big names.
These are pretty...
of
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the others.
So
in my
what?
head.
There's screenshots of them.
Screenshots,
sexting.
conversations,
Being-
stories.
All right.
Just go on Twitter, man. Just go to
So it's like sexual harassment type situation. Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's time for some new blood.
Joey Ryan is a major one.
I'm sure there's lots of up and coming wrestlers that want to get in the ring. So.
Travis Banks. There's a lot of pretty major names being called out right now.
Well, speaking of cancelled dudes and one woman, which is J.K. Rowling, obviously, with her tweets. We'll go with the tweets first, because she made some really, like, full-on TERF stuff. TERF is let me get this right, exclusionary radical feminist. And they're just, like, not
So that's
always
a group.
lesbians. That's a classification for, like, they're old-school feminists, and they don't count transgender women as women. They're like, no, you need ovaries, you need a vagina. Like, you need to have been born
Oh,
with
so
one.
even if you're fully
be a woman.
transitioned, they don't care.
No, I don't think so. They're like,
Okay.
yeah, they're full on, and she's really hard line on that
This
one.
this sounds like fourth wave feminism.
I don't know all the waves. We need
That's
to
like the last one, like the current one, isn't
we
it?
need to get Elizabeth back in on that one. Sorry.
Well, no, there's like first wave feminism, which is
Like old school.
which is we want rights for all white women. And then the second way of feminism is we want rights for all women. And then the third way of feminism was fuck men, it's their fault. And then the fourth way of feminism is no.
I feel like
thought
this is an
feminism
Urban
at its
Dictionary
core
style
was-
definition.
Yeah,
but
no,
okay.
it is.
Oh, okay.
But
It's
yeah,
just me going off what the internet has told
other
me.
cancelled people.
Not that I agree nor disagree with anything, because you'll never know.
Oh, maybe you can look up this guy because I want to see his tweets. Hartley Sawyer, who was a major character on The Flash, but only in the last season.
Oh,
or two.
Ralph. Yeah, Ralph got fired.
Yeah, a couple of racist tweets. One of them being, "Hey, I'm going to get in trouble one day for being racist." Like basically.
Why would you just...
He was in a Chinese. He was like, "I'm in this restaurant, and haha, I'm a bit racist." Like that was it. It wasn't clear what he'd said that was racist, other than
If
just
he
joking
got
about.
kicked for saying that,
Yeah,
I don't agree.
There was a little
That's
bit more.
fucking ridiculous.
That's why I want you to Google it because I can't remember the
We
exact.
need to, next time, hook up your TV to the laptop,
Right.
I think.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
you can...
Mm-hmm.
Well, to your laptop. 'Cause
Yeah,
this
it'll
will
be mine
recording.
next, yeah.
What are you going to look up?
His
Well, no,
name
my
is
laptop will... Because I'll download
Hartley Sawyer. This name there.
Hartley Sawyer. Okay. Yeah, Hartley. Well, what about him?
Tweets.
Okay, Hartley Sawyer. Okay, carry on while I'm doing that.
So that's the light stuff. Like JK's a bit. Hartley's a little bit like, come on, man. I mean, the same thing happened to James Gunn and the dude that did Rick and Morty. Like he's been in trouble on and off.
Dan or the other one?
I think Dan.
Yeah.
And did you end up watching the documentary on, I think it's Amazon, about his whole tour around? It wasn't based on, it was when he got fired from Community. So it was a while ago.
No.
Okay. It was pretty good. I recommend it. Dan Harmon.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the actual tweets because there's plenty of articles.
I haven't found the tweets.
And they're just
but
like,
I
no, he
found
said
an
bad
article.
things. That's the exact article, or the same photo that I was.
Will not be returning, yada yada. There's fucking.
Oh, there's lots of anime ads.
Blah blah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
targeted
it's harder
advertising.
to get ad block on your phones.
Yeah. I noticed I've got ad block obviously on my computer, and when
I
was
don't.
watching,
I like to support my creators.
Do you
I
have to
pause
turn
it
off?
when a
Turn it off when you watch
website asks.
Oh
me.
yeah, because I have ad block, but I turn it off when I watch your things.
Yes. But it even works on YouTube.
Oh, Patreon.
So it really, like, it encourages me to watch YouTube because I'm like, suddenly not bothering me every 10 seconds with 3 ads. So it gets pretty annoying.
As someone who works, well, let's call this working right now. What we're doing. As someone who works in the internet medium, and you're blocking ads, if someone did that to us, how would you feel?
Well, we don't run ads right now.
I would be
so-
completely
Right
fine
now.
with it.
I'd
But-
be happy to just run it like ad free or whatever, and just sell T-shirts because then it's the least.
T-shirts, Patreon, fucking
Yeah.
donation.
I'm
thing,
sorry, but I
whatever.
want to be sponsored by Dollar Shave Club or Me Undies.
Yes, I'd be down for that.
MeUndies, yeah.
You can never have too many undies. Then you're not allowed to block the ads. But yeah, they're so annoying. I'm just like, I'm not going to buy a Pixel phone because they keep having those stupid ads. I'm not going to use
Okay.
Uber Eats. It's always the same.
Manscaped.com.
So I found one of the tweets
Yes.
that they've put, quote unquote, "The only thing that keeps me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me."
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like, yeah, okay. It's not funny. It's not really that racist either. It's like, yeah, sure, some mildly famous black. What did he say? Oh, there's some screen caps. Okay.
Oh my god.
Are you?
Can it be that
I
bad?
don't want to say it.
Well, let me say it. I don't care.
Okay, have a look.
Ooh, the first one? Dozing off on my couch like a child molester / my brother. See, that's another one that doesn't make any sense.
It's just saying it.
Are you
Jingle
calling your
bells.
brother a child molester?
It doesn't make any sense. Jingle
doesn't
bells,
make
Batman
sense.
smells, women shouldn't vote. See, I think that's...
We're gonna get downvoted.
That's the definition of an anti-joke, isn't it?
It's just yeah.
It's like- that's
it's just like
What?
it's just like saying knock knock. Who's there? People should die. It just doesn't make sense.
Knock knock. Who's there? Cotton field. You know.
Yeah.
If I had a wife, I would beat the hell out of her tonight. Lol.
Oh no.
What? And the best one, I think, my favourite, is as a lad, one of my favourite activities was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts. So, yeah, he issued an apology for that.
What
Disappointed in myself for my ignorance back then.
I would say
Too late. He's gone.
What I did get a little peeved off at, which I'll only mention like 10 seconds, is there was a story, long story short, we've talked about this before, of a guy having his penis cut off by his wife because he wanted a divorce from her. And all the women talking about it found it hilarious.
Yeah, that's that Bobbit, whatever his name is. I thought he was cheating on her or something.
Oh, as far as everyone could tell, no, it was just he wanted a divorce.
That was
that's
back
why.
in the 90s.
But, like, no, I thought it was very ironic, though, because one of the ladies was trying to be nice about it and said, well, what if it was the other way around? What if it was a woman getting, her bits? We wouldn't be laughing then. And even though I love Ozzy Osbourne, his wife chipped in and said, oh, no, it's different. It's a dude. One's floppy and it's funny to see it get chopped off. And I'm like, I really like you, Ozzy Osbourne, but your wife, I think she needs a stern talking to.
Yeah, I mean, funny is funny, and you can't police
That's not
it too
right.
much, but
That's not right. Like, I mean, if you're gonna find one funny, then you can't have it.
Yeah, I think there's a
you
lot
got to
to
look at both.
I think there's a lot to unpack there that we're not qualified to do. So I'm probably going to.
Well, we could, but we just piss people off about it.
I mean, I'm not qualified to do a lot of things. So let's unpack that.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
What's
Anyway,
next? Anyway.
the rest of the guys that have been cancelled this week are Chris D'Elia, Timothy Hutton.
Christy Elia.
Yeah, see, I listened to a video just to get that right, and that's what she said. So
No, she's right.
Danny Masterton and Ansel Elgort, or Elgort, the dude from Baby Driver,
Yeah.
sexting various 16-year-olds. And
I know the name
apparently
Danny
raping one
Masterson.
when she
What's he
was-
from?
When she finally met him, the 70s show, the dude with the
Yeah,
beard.
yeah, the Scientology dude.
Yeah, he raped a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Ansel Elgort, same thing. But it was just this one girl.
Ooh.
Timothy Hutton, bunch of raping. Teenage girl when he was 20.
And this is
Which
all
like-
proven.
There's allegations, and every woman must be believed.
I mean,
So-
Danny Masterson's been arrested at this point.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much confirmed. Like,
Yeah.
it was a bunch of women. When there's more than one, like with Ansel, it's only one, so it's a little bit. Chris Delia, or Del, annoys me because it's the D, then an apostrophe, then Elia. I'm going to go with Delia. Yeah, it's a bunch of women. Like, there's hundreds that have come out with screen caps of him basically going, "Oh, so you're in high school." So the first time, that's going to be painful, isn't it? Because you're a virgin. Just really creepy. Like, he'll talk down to them, not like at their level, or even his. You know what I mean? He's clearly just being super creepy.
Just trying to slither in his way in there,
Yeah, and just, it's bizarre. Like, he's talking to them like he's trying to sound like an 8th grader as well. And it's just, and I don't know. I know he's been on Joe Rogan a few times and has a special on Netflix, and he's got a big YouTube following. And, I haven't really caught much of his stuff. But,
You know the irony is, he played a creepy...
that's right, yeah.
He played a creepy
He's
child
played a
molester.
pedophile multiple times. He calls his fans his babies, and he just constantly jokes about that topic. So it's a little bit like he was,
He got killed in You. That's where he played basically a sex offender.
That was You.
Yeah.
So that was him.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause I'd seen the trailer for that.
See, like...
Not the main character, but he's in season 2.
Oh, okay.
See, like, if he's played a character like that and he's just sort of running with it...
Yeah,
on
maybe
his
he
own
was just doing
channels, that's
research.
different. Yeah, but if he's...
Method acting.
Yes.
Yeah. But if it's clear... it's all about context. If it's clear that he's sending tweets to these people and it's... Then yeah, that's not...
Timothy Hutton, he's one of those guys, and he was in a recent show that got cancelled because he was the lead. But if you see his face, and I don't know if you want me to Google it, it's one of those ones where it's, that guy that's in that movie. You'll see what I mean.
That guy in that thing, kind of like how Rob Schneider was in... all
Rob
Adam
Schneider
Sandler
is
movies.
a carrot.
Yes.
Because the name doesn't ring any bells, and I had to look him up. Same with Danny Masterton, because I never really watched that 70s show. But yeah, if you just...
No, I don't recognize him.
No?
He looks like the guy from
I've definitely
Top Gear
seen
a
him
little
in
bit.
things. As like a white...
And was that him in
middle-aged
drag?
guy. Drag? No, I think
Drag?
it's probably his wife or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But,
That's Helen Hunt, isn't it? No, it's not Helen Hunt.
No. It looks like it's a shot from a film. Because look at what they're wearing. It's all like 70s.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to... Ordinary People, The Falcons, The Snowman,
Nothing.
French Kiss. Yeah, it's all kind of... It's a bit off the radar.
Before my time.
Still, I was searching for... I realised there was so many that popped up this week that I was just Googling, and like all these names came together, so I'll throw him in the mix.
Okay.
Because, I didn't want to be ageist, because he's obviously the oldest one. He's 59. And the rest are all like 20. So, Had to keep
Chuck
it
them
fair, didn't want to just target the younger dudes. So it's not just people being cancelled, it's also products. You got Uncle Ben, he's out. Aunt Jemima, she's gone. Coon cheese.
Coon
Can't have that
cheese?
anymore.
Who
Cocoa,
the fuck is coon cheese? I just wave over that like that's nothing.
That's one of the
Coon
most
cheese?
I've heard of
popular
coon cheese
cheeses.
before.
I eat it. I'm pretty sure that's what. No, I've got Vega actually. I don't really pay attention. I just know I like.
You'll need to show me this after.
cheese.
The fuck is coon
Just walk
cheese?
into any-
How have you
Woolworths.
never heard of coon cheese?
It's like one of the most popular brands in Australia.
I don't.
Obviously, you don't eat a lot of cheese.
Don't you call that? Don't you call people that in
Yes,
America?
that's
as a
why it was
slur?
cancelled.
Yes. Well, one Australian comedian who's done at least 2 different TV series. They're quite funny.
Chris Lilly got cancelled pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, then we're moving on to TV shows. Cocoa Pops is kind of a joke because
Don't you fucking fuck with my
Oh
Cocoa
no,
Pops.
not that! I
they
heard
want to
about
take away
that.
the monkey. And someone said, "Oh, look, with Rice Krispies, they've got 3 little white boys. Snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah.
We call it rice bubbles.
Yeah.
Whereas with the brown cereal, it's a monkey.
Who fucking cares? It's a cereal.
But I don't think that's the PC culture. I think that's some right-wing troll or 4chan
It
just
wouldn't-
trying to get people outraged about a nonsense thing. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Coon, I get. It's a really derogatory slur that's been used for over 100 years. Probably is time to make a change there. But and Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben and all those, there was a lot of products using an Indian, a Native American, and they've been taken off. They've changed updated their look, and that's fair enough. You got to stop fetishizing cultural.
Oh no! What if we still call it coon cheese, but we put a raccoon on it?
Oh,
You
I
just
love
add-
that little
all they have to
raccoon
do-
playing with a block of cheese.
Is add 3 letters, so that could work.
Spell it like
Keep the
how.
font and everything else, and then you just have a cute little raccoon.
Spell it how
And then-
Cartman says it.
100 years ago, it'll be like a trivia question.
Yeah.
Remember, raccoon cheese? There's a dark story behind that.
Exactly. See, I'm great for branding. I can turn your product that's shitty and make it slightly less.
Right, so shows have been cancelled. There was a movie on HBO Max called Gone with the Wind. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Won some Oscars once. Trump, one of his favourite movies. A director and journalist wrote a piece saying that having it being one of the tentpole releases on this HBO channel, it's HBO Max, whatever that means. They've got you're already paying for HBO, and then you pay more.
Maximum nudity.
Yeah, maximum price gouging. But that was one of their big hey, look, we've got this too. But there was no context for it. It was just hey, we're celebrating racism, we're normalizing that world, and maybe it should be presented like those old Warner Brothers cartoons are, with a bit of a caveat or a disclaimer at the beginning, just hey, look, this is a different time. A lot of the themes and situations in it are offensive today, and just have some education around it or something. That was his the gist of it, and so they removed it from the schedule, and that started a domino effect of other shows. Obviously, Cops and A&E and all that was because of the Black Lives Matter thing. That was a bit more obvious because police right now, not the Mighty Boosh, which is a funny UK series.
Oh
Yeah,
There was a bit of blackface in that, so that's gone. Faulty Towers, there was an episode featuring the Germans where apparently the N-word is dropped. But
What,
John
Nazi?
Cleese... No, you might be right, but I thought it was the other N-word. But it could be Nazi.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. But John
They didn't
Cleese
say
agreed
noodle.
back in the day, years ago, to edit that out. They just dropped that word, and it was fine. But in the version that was showing, that some reason they had a copy that wasn't where the word was still there. So that was the real issue. The same thing happened with the In-Betweeners. They're like, oh, everyone's being offended by this humour. It's a really funny English show. And clunge. Gotta love that word. It's so just...
Clunge.
But makes me titter every time like a 12-year-old.
It's something that a 12-year-old made up.
I think I can.
Yeah, well, that's the
I can
entire
insert
point.
a show that you don't have, but I'll wait till you get to the end because
Alright,
you
we'll
might
get
have it
there.
there.
But the problem with that is it was on their channel. They had a YouTube channel or something, a website, and you could watch it for free. After it went on some pay-per-view type English comedy cable channel, where you had to pay to see it, then it got taken off their website. So I think that's the real reason, not that people were going to be offended. Obviously, like you said, all the Chris Lilly, he's got 4 shows. That entire show, he's playing a Chinese guy, he's playing a Tongan boy, he's playing a black rapper, he's just every like bullshit offensive thing you could do, he's done. Con the Fruiterer, he's been called out, even though it's from like 30 years ago and before your time. It's a show called Comedy Company, and he was a white guy playing a Greek, grocer, and would make all these like terrible jokes. And it's like the entire joke was, "Hey, I've got a funny accent."
Yeah.
So I can see the issue there. Fat Pizza, Rebel did an interview, and she was talking about how she used to play Tula, who's like a Greek character on it, and she was saying, "Yeah, we couldn't do that today," even though he's trying to relaunch it. It was a bit too edgy at times. And she's like, when I watched it, I thought she was legit like ethnic because she played it so well. And it's only now I'm like, yeah, no, shit, that's a white chick. So I can see the problem there, and she wouldn't do that again. But like a lot of their humor was just like on the nose, making fun of racial stereotypes. And yeah, it wasn't the most sophisticated.
Yeah, but
show.
you can fucking make that argument about anything. There
Well,
was
we
that whole
know- we
Apu
know
thing
people-
years ago.
We know people
Yeah.
who have been in Fat
like-
Pizza.
Fucking South Park,
I've
does
seen that guy.
everything.
What's his name? Fennec? Paul Fennec?
Yeah.
Like
But we
in-
know people personally who have been in
Yeah.
Fat Pizza.
Yeah, no, it's not really my cup of tea, but I get that it has. There was some funny moments, like when it first came out, and that was back in the late 90s. Like that's how old it is, or even I think I might have been I'd finished high school, but there was a scene where they pull up and they're trying to get this car park, and it's late at night, and they're playing like this, doof, 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 like it was really cheesy 90s techno, Venga Boys, and they're just like dancing, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna park here, and it was in front of this apartment block. And then someone else came in to use the same spot at the same time. And they're like, I've got a baseball bat. And they're like, oh, I know we're going to defend it. And then some guy up on the balcony's like, everyone shut up, I'm trying to sleep. And he's got a crossbow. And then someone else pulls up. And then it just keeps escalating. And it becomes like that scene in The Anchorman with all the people fighting with like, where'd someone get a grenade? It was just that kind of chaotic, but relatable.
Well, it's like
that was
there's a
funny.
Wayans Brothers movie, and I'm blanking what it is. It's they're in a it's like it's meant to be set in the ghetto, and there's this one specific scene where it's the 2 Wayans brothers who playing cousins, I believe, and a rival gang pulls up and they pull out like their Glock, right, and then the other one pulls out a Glock, so then
It's like a rocket launcher.
yeah, the rocket launcher,
Yeah.
and then he opens up a vent and he's got a fucking nuclear missile.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
League of Gentlemen, more blackface. And that's all I had off the top of my head.
Probably the most offensive running show, live action, that's comedy, that still runs to this day, and probably can't be cancelled. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
They had an episode cut off the American Netflix.
Oh, so it's just one episode. That's not too bad.
One episode cut off the American Netflix. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime because they just added it to Amazon Prime, so I'm actually currently watching it again.
Yeah.
Where they do blackface, but the thing is that in the actual episode itself is making fun of people who do blackface.
Yeah.
But then
they still cut it.
and they've
'Cause
got
that's
a future episode that they're not making fun of blackface, but there is blackface in it, and it's still there. So it's really confusing.
Yeah, that is very confusing. It's like I saw a disclaimer on. It's a Sky cable channel in the UK, and it's like
Sky Sports.
It's got that this whole like lead into Aliens. Like, hey, there's things that are offensive in this movie, and it was made at a different time. and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's like, well, then you pretty much have to do that for every single movie made before 2003.
So don't you
Like,
fucking
I can name
get
like
away
1,000
from her,
different
you
good.
bitch.
Yeah, it's xenophobic.
I can name like 1,000 different movies and shows that either do blackface or are like super offensive, like to people. The Office is one. South Park is definitely one. The Simpsons.
They'll cut Django Unchained.
But I mean, The Office is like the Sony
Like-
in Philadelphia. They're making fun of racist people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
but
they're
like,
punching down.
when
punching
is
up.
it going to end though? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure a lot of these shows as well are making fun of the people, or it's not
The only
supposed to be taken
blackface I
seriously.
saw in The Office, I think, was Creed. Did it once, maybe. I remember him having a lot of makeup.
I think Creed did something like that,
Maybe
and
I
then
was just being the Joker.
and then the manager was pretending to be like Asian or something.
No, that's season 1 too, as well.
Oh,
The
okay.
Halloween episode. But I'm sure one of them, like, it was Creed that did like a brown face type thing.
Yeah, I think he just walked in.
Michael's definitely played an Asian man.
Mm.
He's definitely played an Asian man.
Yeah, that's not good. I know he has a voice that he does.
He's definitely done a fat Asian man. I know that.
What's gonna?
I just remember being around in the late 90s when Hey Hey It's Saturday was still a show. And there was a segment called Red Faces.
Oh, yeah.
And they had an American guest judge.
Didn't they have a gong
And
as
I
well?
think he was a black guy.
Wasn't there
I
a
can't
gong?
remember. Yeah, there was a big gong. Like
Yeah.
Red Simons would come out and hit the gong. It was like an early version of, Who's Got Talent and all that. And,
Yeah.
Red Simons was like Simon Cowell, basically.
Yeah.
He would just lay into people and, verbally. Or with his drumstick. And, these guys came on and thought it would be funny to do blackface, like an entire troupe of minstrels. And we're just so tone deaf over here that most of Australia was like, I don't see the big deal. And it took this American judge to call it out and just be like, what the fuck? You guys can't do this. And that was the news the next day was like, this American is calling us out. What the hell? Were we wrong? It was like a bit of self-analysis there. We've come a long way since. The 90s always felt to me like contemporary, like that was where I had my teenage years. And I think people tend to lock that time in. Like that's your formative years. So to me, that's like a normal. And that's why I think it was so powerful when I saw like that Black Mirror episode where you can jump around in time once you die, or you can go on a holiday there, which is a bit like Upload again.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were living in they had a 90s era. And I was like, I'd be so tempted just to spend most of my time there because it was just, I don't know, that's like a comfort zone or something.
It's a good time.
But,
it was edgy. But
I'd probably go to like the 1940s in California.
I'd jump around all the time.
That would probably be my base.
That would be your base?
Yeah.
Okay, my base would be something
Your
like
Golden Age of Hollywood.
Mine would be probably like 1994, like year 10. I don't know. A lot of shit happened that I'm not proud of.
Sounds like you're proud of it if it's your base.
I would have been a
No, but I want
bedhead
to fix
at that
stuff.
time.
Oh yeah, and I never got to it. Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure to give Chase, the police dog, the boot. So again,
It's
I
a
think that's
fucking animated
lovely.
dog!
Yeah, there's a lot of outrage about that. The fact that people are outraged, and I think again it's like the Cocoa Pop situation, where no one's seriously suggesting that, but the right wing are like, oh look what they're trying to take away from us. So, 4chan, you've done it again.
Yep.
A bunch of cops staged a George Floyd scene.
Oh, I saw that.
So that's a bit of a meme. Instead of just planking now, you can get your mate to lie on the ground on his back, and then you just lean on their neck.
Alright, I'll go to the table.
I'm hoping that half the time these idiots that do that end up killing their friend because it's fucking retarded on so many levels.
If you want to do it,
Because
go
it's
ahead,
fucking
but-
stupid on so many levels.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
it's in a little poor
Yes,
taste.
but it's also my footage.
Yeah.
So the cinema stuff I haven't really got to, but I'm hoping events, not just some dinky little cinema. No disrespect to the Ritz in Randwick, is open on the 1st of July. I want.
And a Hoyts apparently. Go fuck yourself.
Are they gonna do?
I haven't seen dates yet for the big cinemas, so that's what I'm really waiting on, so I can take my 11-year-old son to watch a movie that's way too mature for him in the next few weeks, hopefully.
Are they gonna do the regulations like they are in America, like spacing people out?
Yeah, well, they were doing that
gloves and
before,
masks
so they'll
and
probably do
shit?
it again, where it was just every other chair.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think they're going to make anyone wear a mask because I
that's
just
not
think
good.
where the culture here is just not there. Like I haven't in America in a lot of states, there's rules on the outside of the building saying if you come inside, you need to wear a mask. Whereas I just have not seen that here.
Yeah, I suppose I haven't seen that
So
on the trains.
we've avoided that debate. Whereas in America, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We talked about Last of Us. We've got a lot of dates for different movies that are coming out, but we don't really need to go into that. A lot of see, look at that. Did you see that? I was in the group scrolling, and now it just jumped back to my
Man, you
timeline.
need to update your Facebook.
Did you click the home button by
I didn't click
accident?
anything. My finger did not touch.
You need to update your Facebook, mate.
Apparently, there was talks of Beyonce playing Storm in a new X-Men movie, and everyone's upset about that. I don't think it's a
Why?
rumor. I don't know.
Beyonce.
Apparently, she
Is
can't
she?
act.
I was about to say, is she an actor? Has she been in any films? That would be my only mild gripe, but I,
I
don't
thought
know
their
how she
issue.
acts.
I thought their issue
I
was
like
like.
that actor.
The
The pretty man.
Yeah, you know, don't.
He got cancelled. That's Chris D'Elia.
Oh wait, oh no, he's not the same. I thought he
That
was
one.
the.
The beta guy. He got cancelled too. Rape.
Oh, I thought he was the guy from The Hobbit, the dwarf from The Hobbit. The Hobbit, the one without even a beard
The
that
Hobbit
falls
that's
in
in The
love
Hobbit.
with the.
Yeah,
with
it was
the
like the
elf.
Oh, there is an
The
actual
Hobbit?
dwarf.
in the.
Yeah,
And you thought it was Gimli. Just
What?
on his quick scroll, you thought that guy was
No.
Gimli.
No, what? No,
He
no, no,
actually
no,
has it.
not Gimli. No, not Gimli.
Because that's the dwarf in the Hobbit.
You're fucking with me right now.
No, because it's the Hobbits and the Hobbits.
No, fuck off. You're fucking with me. No, the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Not Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I'm not that fucking stupid. I like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, so the Hobbit
If you
and the
did
Hobbit.
it to me with
That's in the
Star
Hobbit.
Wars, you'd probably get me, but not fucking Lord of the Rings. The fucking... never mind. Continue.
Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief?
Cutting out that whole thing.
Continue with your... Continue, Jack and Baxter.
That whole section's gone. KFC have confused fans with a new gaming console announcement. So I'm looking forward to that. The only thing that
Fucking
makes me
what?
question whether that's true... You didn't see this?
No.
Oh, it's all over the internet.
What is it?
First it was the new Xbox X that sent gamers into a frenzy. Then Sony has the PS5. Then KFC. That's right. Taking to their official gaming Twitter account. I didn't know they had a gaming Twitter account. I thought they just had KFC.
Yeah.
They shared it. There's actually a video.
Well,
out.
because they did make the KFC game, the
Oh, okay.
this
That was
dating
your-
simulator.
Basically,
Yeah.
with 120 frames per second, it's 4K, and it has a chicken chamber. So it doubles up as an air fryer.
What?
But they
That
say
can't be good for it.
fans
though.
will have to wait till December to get their
Yeah.
hands on the hottest console around. See what they did there.
Literally.
I can't. I might
You
buy
can,
one.
you can play your console, and as it's heating up
Seeing
and
as you're the
playing
guy
those
that
big
like
games,
hacked
you
their
can
secret
fry your
menu, I
chicken.
can see you buying one. But
I
I have a feeling they're trolling.
Your controllers are going to be so goddamn greasy, though, eating
no,
fucking
no,
chicken.
You think they're not going to make their controllers grease proof?
Oh,
That'll be
that's
the
good. They
next.
fucking
Big,
better,
that'll be
yeah.
the greatest technology since sliced bread.
grease-proof controllers.
There'll be so many like Dorito smashing, like Mountain Dew chugging fanboys out there.
They'll have like a pad on it that's like absorbent, so just like and you can just replace it.
yeah. Just pull it. It'll just be like those little towelettes that you
Yeah,
get.
exactly.
Just taped
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
controller.
Yeah, it's just
the best.
fucking...
Miles Morales has confirmed that it's not like a sequel. It's a standalone game.
Yeah.
It's not just DLC. It's like a full game. So that's cool. Because we haven't really... my whole thing was like, hey guys, make sure you watch all the trailers. We haven't really talked about them other than... What is it? Jackson Dexter?
Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
He's ruining my childhood.
I never played
Mine
Ratchet and
too.
Clank, so I just thought it always looked cool, but I'm not a
They
platformer
were
guy.
very. It's not a platforming game.
Really?
I mean, it's partial.
Wait, yeah, it's partial.
Partial.
It's
but-
like
but
it's like
just-
a collectathon platformer sort of thing.
It was just all too cartoony for me.
it's very good. Lewis would love it.
It's good. It's good.
Star Trek, we got lucky with season 3 because they just finished filming
Sure, I like
before the
Star Trek.
shutdown. So now it's all on the post-production team. And that's apparently why it's a bit delayed because, people are working from home, so it's not happening quite as quickly as it would be. I think in an office, all the stuff is there. And if you're at home, it still takes time to upload
Yeah,
and
you got to pull it out of the cloud and all that.
Yeah, that probably
Rather
delays
than
them a
the
little
original
bit.
source. Yeah, because look how long it took you to get the fucking footage that I had.
Yeah.
You
To be
couldn't.
fair, I was playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption during the week, but I need my downtime too. First June footage is going to be shown during a re-release of Inception. I can't see whether they've added anything new to the movie. I think they're just going, here's that same movie all over again.
Yeah, no. This time
Exactly the same.
this time the
Are they
thing falls
making it
over at the
prettier?
end.
Yeah,
That's it.
They better just insert a few things to fuck with people.
The world doesn't go up; it goes down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Just reverse a few things. But yeah, I'd almost go watch it again because I love that movie, and I'm really excited about June.
He
Even
watches
though
the Titanic in it for some reason.
I never read the book, but I did like the David Lynch film.
Yeah.
So, this one I wanted to read because I was just like, here's another person that got cancelled. Though that's not going to really have any effect at all on her subscribers.
I read that, yeah.
She makes $1 million a year and is an ex-V8 supercar driver. The first ever female supercar driver. God knows how much of that there is left because now there's no more Holdens. There's no more Ford Falcons. They've only got Mustangs and a dribble of, Chevrolet Camaros coming in.
Yeah.
I'm the car guy.
And
so.
then there's Mercedes are a part of it as well, and so
I thought they dropped out. There was like that one team with that chick that was running her own company and like she was amazing and she had Mercs for a while and then just switched to Fords or something eventually. But yeah, no, the whole thing's dead. Just do 12-hour races every couple of months at Bathurst. I'll go to those. And they have all like whatever car.
As someone who's been to Bathurst, it's a long trip for that.
Yeah, but make it a whole weekend. It's cool.
So she's
And do Eastern Creek too. Like make a series and just have anyone can turn up with their old banger and muscle car or whatever. Do a Fast and Furious Race Wars style. So using the term race wars right now is probably a bad
Now,
idea.
I'm going to tell you right now, the insurance on that would be a nightmare.
Well, they do it with power crews. I don't know how they get away with it, but you pay like $100 or whatever, and you can just cruise around the track all day doing burnouts with other people, not wearing helmets, no roll cages. I don't know how they pull it off, but it's a thing they do every year. Anyway, so she went on a rant. This is a...
I read this.
Yeah, she's got an OnlyFans account, and she makes a ridiculous amount of money from it. She has something like... How many fans?
Well, she's
a few thousand.
Well, it says she's a porn star.
In my first 6 days, I made 24,000 US. Yeah, her name's Renee Gracie. That's her Instagram, Renee_Gracie. She has 702,000 followers on that. 7,000 subscribers on her OnlyFans. $90,000 a month. Like, and that's
doing well.
conservative.
If I had a pair of tits, I'd do OnlyFans.
Yeah. She started making waves on the karting circuit as a teenager. She's an attractive girl, but yeah, when you say things like, I've already scrolled past it, but basically
something
like,
about Indians.
I don't like Indians. If you've shared or stolen my images, you're an asshole, and I hope you get what comes for you. If you're Indian, get off my page. You're not welcome. I will be removing all Indias from my page tonight. So she might be fast and she might be attractive, but not actually a good human being. Sorry, Renee.
I'm gonna
cancelled by me, and no one's going to notice, especially not you, because you're never ever going to hear of me. And I don't think any of her 7,000 fans are going to give a shit.
Until she like DMs you one day. You fucking said what, bitch?
Yeah, because they're exactly the kind of fans that would almost like, encourage that kind of... Not to like lay shit on all bogans, but I can't see many of them being upset about that.
Yeah. I'm just going to assume that someone must have doxed videos of her or pictures of her sexual content
they
in the
basically
past,
like
and she must assume that it is
it's like a fappening style thing, though the thing with the fappening that was like private.
I mean, what do you expect? It's OnlyFans. You can't control content
There's
on
a
that.
bunch of stuff on Reddit apparently of like whatever OnlyFans people that's been shared, but
yeah.
I wouldn't know because I don't go looking for that kind of content, but apparently
yeah. I mean,
out there.
Before even OnlyFans, it says she's a porn star, so I assume she's done a lot of stuff in the past and people in the industry.
I think she started on OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, she probably had that stuff leaked though as well, and she's probably getting pissed at people doing it, and she's probably assuming that a lot of people who leak that
obviously
stuff,
she thinks they're all Indian. The only people that would steal images without paying for them are Indian. Goes without saying.
Yeah.
Like,
not that we're playing devil, that we mean to
I
play
really
devil's advocate,
want
just,
there to like. I'm gonna add subtitles to this, and just so I can take quotes out of context and with no tone whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just play that clip and like nothing around it that qualifies that I'm
Just have
being ironic as her.
Just put like your exact words into Google Translate and have her read it, just so it's dead tone. Of course, Indians are the one.
Yeah. Get the best version of a title for Xbox consoles. I like this because if I was going to buy, say, Cyberpunk 2077 before the PS5 came out, if I bought it on the Xbox,
You could play it.
it would just automatically update it, and your save game would go over to the new console.
Yeah,
And you would be playing the better version for free. So
Yeah.
I love that. With the Sony, they've done that up till now, but in a recent statement, they've said we're going to leave it up to the publisher. So the cost will be on them. Whereas I think Microsoft is taking it on board to say, look, we will cover whatever difference there is to make sure that they're always playing the best version.
Yeah, I heard they're doing that with, or something similar with like even past ones, so like 360 games.
Yeah,
and
if there's been an
Xbox
update or
games,
any kind of like, would you call it, like a mastered version? Remaster.
If I've got like an original Xbox copy or something.
So it's almost tempting to like go into an old second-hand bin or a charity shop and be like, oh, there's the original whatever game.
They'll probably have a list though, like they did in the past. Like these are the list of games that we have, like that are fucking on it.
Well, it's all games. That's the whole point of this article. It's every game on the Xbox that has a better version. You will get that version for free.
Well, they say that, but
And
like
it's true
they say that, but
because it's true.
Are you telling me everything that those announcer people fucking say is true?
Yeah, because it's literally in black and white from Phil Spencer. the CEO of Microsoft, of Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has said, like...
Good dude. I've met him.
It's a press release.
Well, all I'm saying is that in the
Yeah.
past, like they've have lists and they update it over time. So
Yeah.
it might be all of them, but it might take them time to do that. So it might not be day one we've got everything. Be like day one, okay, we've got like 20%.
I don't see
And
why
then,
it would
like, in a
take
couple
time
months
because
Yeah.
they've got the games on their cloud or whatever, on Microsoft, what do you call it, Game Pass.
Game Pass.
So if the game's available to download,
Yeah. I mean,
then
I'm
it should
not.
just do it.
I'm not sure how it works. It's just I'm critical of it because
Well, if you've installed the game using the disc that you bought 10 years ago, the computer will, or the Xbox will go, hey, he's got that game and here's a better version, and just automatically let you...
Oh, I know that. It's just like sometimes it doesn't always work the way that they intended to. You know.
No, I think you're just being contrary for the sake of it. This is the truth. It's been handed down from Mount Olympus.
Okay.
Just
Well,
deal with
then, if it, I want it to be true. If it's true, then hell
It's
yeah.
definitely true.
Well, if it comes into fruition. Anyway.
Yeah, that's all I've got. It's an hour and a half. There's probably more stuff we've missed, but I'm pretty happy. We covered, I think the most exciting release is Miles Morales of that whole PlayStation. Go watch the thing. It's like an hour long. There's a couple of
I
shorter
don't know.
versions.
I'm pretty excited about Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, and it was really clever because they did that village.
Yeah.
It's how they did. It's how they did seven.
Like the
Seven.
double-
It was evil, and then it was.
Yeah.
I saw people fucking look at that. It's like, oh, what's this village? And there's a Resident Evil. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You got me. Fuck you.
I'll play it.
It's the scariest trailer since I saw the trailer for the new game based on...
Hopefully it's not a trap though, and it's like, oh, it looks really scary, but then it's like Resident
It's
Evil
the first
5
ever
or something
found
that's
footage
really
movie. The
action-based.
Witcher? No, not The Witcher. The one where those kids go into the forest and they're just using like a handy cam. And then they
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
Blair-
The
that's
Blair Witch
Blair
video game.
What
And that
I
was like the E3 or whatever,
Yeah.
the last big thing. That
Yeah, I
trailer.
played that. That's terrifying.
Yeah, the actual game, so
Yeah.
it's come out.
Yeah, it's fucking been out for ages.
Nice.
That's
Is
the
it
one
any
with the
good?
doggo and stuff, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
fucking scary.
Right, it's so scary that all I did was play the trailer for like 10 seconds of it, and my son walked into the room, the 4-year-old did not appreciate it. He immediately started bawling his eyes out after like 5 seconds of that trailer. Because I was like, I wonder if he'll get that this is... Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's very scary. Even for... It did not go over his head. That went right into his soul and pierced him.
No.
And his mum was so mad at me. And I was like, oh, it just... it was like an experiment. What's wrong with that?
One final thing before we go. I've been diving more into the world of VR.
Yep.
And
Oh,
getting some motion sickness from it when I'm like just sort of standing in like a general area and like I'm controlling the thumbsticks to move around, but it's still like in my brain. And after a while, I'm like, all right, I gotta take that off. I'm gonna throw up.
Rogue Squadron. It's
Yes.
That's one thing I meant to mention. That's going to be VR.
And cross-platform.
So if you're
So
the type
all
to
my
get-
boys are going to
Right.
get it on Xbox, but I'm getting it on PC. Just fucking. He's like,
Taking them out. That's an unfair advantage.
how's that an unfair advantage?
Isn't it easier to use? Not really with a flight sim. is
Yeah.
it? It's the same.
Maybe if he was using a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Or if, with the VR, does that give you any kind of?
I mean,
extra
I'm
edge?
physically there then at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It's just a better experience.
I feel better experience and maybe
I mean,
my
But
reaction
you're going
time might be
upside
quicker.
down. You're doing loops the loop. I
Yeah.
mean, are you going to get? Do you get sick?
I got a little bit of sick from
Inertia.
playing Payday 2 yesterday. Payday 2 in VR, just fucking smash bang.
I mean,
That sounds fun.
It is.
they have that unfair shit, unfortunately, with other crossplay games where they like with Gears of War. You can
With the
play
first-person
PC with
shooter,
Xbox.
obviously, there's a big advantage by having a mouse.
Yeah. He's like, oh,
unless-
someone's over there. Click.
Or if you give the console players like auto aim, that kind of makes up for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could play Red Redemption without auto aim now.
I'll give you a
So-
mouse and we'll find it.
Yeah, because I got to that last. I don't know how far into it I am because it just keeps going. I think it's over, and then it's like there's more, and then there's more. Like I've had to buy some tools for my new house, and you're going along.
Oh,
you've
so
got
you're
this,
up to that already.
Yeah, and you've got this. So it's near the end. I don't know. You've got this guy that comes with you as a hired gun, and he keeps talking his mouth off like, "Oh, don't worry, I've got your back. No one's going to attack us. You've got a big, strong man next to you."
He dies.
Yeah, he does.
I didn't even have to ask. I knew he was going to get shot.
He gets an axe in his head after having
okay.
an arrow through his chest. It's
Is
just
there
like-
a tis but a
as
flesh
soon
wound?
as he started talking, I was like, this guy's going to die very soon.
Yeah, you don't have that far.
Okay. Well,
You've already got your own house. You don't have
in
that
that
far.
scene, you have to kill about 50 dudes. You're like, it feels like 100 meters.
I feel like I could have saved him if I just popped that dude and he was carrying him, but
No. I think it's like the lion. You can't not... it's dead.
Yeah.
It's going to die. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
I still want to somehow find a way to go back in time and save that lion, but yeah.
I'm not even remembering what you're talking about.
There's like a side quest where there's a dude that has like a zoo, and it's a dog that's made to look up like a lion.
It's a circus.
Yeah,
It's a circus, but the lion's not really... Every animal's not really an animal. Like, the zebra's actually a donkey that's painted.
yeah, except for this one actual fucking lion.
Yeah.
And then, because you've rescued all the other ones, you're like, oh, they're just dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go into this barn and everyone's freaking out. You're like, shut up. It's just, like, everyone is losing their mind.
Yeah.
Like, don't go in there. And they're all hiding and shivering and screaming and running around because it gets into this farmhouse. And you just walk in there like, whatever, it's a fucking dog. Relax, guys. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lion leaps out and completely takes your head off. Yeah, you got about a second. It killed me about 4 times before I
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
figured out.
Come
the
on,
whole
dude. You've got the
Deadeye.
fucking slow-mo.
Have you seen the video that guy's done? Where it's like all the tropes of Red Dead, but it's like a live action YouTube
No.
version? It's pretty funny. So,
I'll put it right here. No, I won't. Cause... Alright, well,
send you the link.
this has been episode... There
71.
we go.
Someone's keeping track. Someone
See,
cares.
I remember that because the last one I was in was 69, which we didn't realize till the end.
Yeah,
totally
totally
forgot.
forgot.
was
That wasn't the
intentional.
joke. It's fine. Nobody made it to the joke. It was a fucking 2-hour-long episode. Oh my god.
We're almost there with this one.
Alright, enjoy your dessert. Get the fuck out.
Indeed. I love
I don't.
you. You bastard.